So Milan, thanks for joining us today.
Hi.
How's things out in the Czech Republic?
Yeah, it's quite crazy here because of the COVID situation, but we have lucky that we have quite good weather. The winter was also good, so we have some options to go outside. Otherwise, the country is struggling with all the lockdowns and mainly the hospitals.
It's a very strange situation here in the UK. And whilst we've had a really good winter, the problem's been that actually nobody's been able to go out and make the most of it. We had more snow and sort of good skiing conditions, would you believe, than any year I can remember in recent times. But nobody can go out. But anyway, the good news is spring is nearly here, and you have two new rock shoes to show us today. And the first of which is the Bullit that we've got a close-up of just there. Now, do you want to tell us a bit more about this? And I know you've got a sample as well to show us, again, some of the design and construction processes.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's very soft sports climbing shoe, mainly made on our asymmetric last. It's slightly downturn, and in the toe area, it's more orientated to the second big toe. So it means like a more Greek style of the last. The shoe is very, very soft, as I said. We used only very tiny, small midsole in the toe area, and then there is a connection through the rubber heel strap, which starts somewhere here, and then there is a certain pretension which goes around the heel. And thanks to this, you have force distribution from the toe to the heel, and the shoe fits afterwards better. Apart of this, the upper is made fully from the microfiber. So it's the synthetic leather, so the shoe is vegan friendly. And here it's not lined, only the toe area here, and here is with the lining that it would give the support of the toe box, that it wouldn't overlap the sole in this area.
So I guess around the edge at the very front, because obviously one of the positives about soft shoes is the sensitivity, but one of the drawbacks is often that you lose that little bit of an edge, isn't it? Because they just give a little bit more. This looks like that had helped to balance that a bit.
Yes, for sure. I mean, thanks to these features of the additional lining and the small support in the midsole, it's actually prevent the area would be afterwards that the rubber end would overlap the sole, and then you would have difficulties to stand on the small tiny footholds.
It's interesting as well, you're talking about the last and the shape with the Greek toe, because one of the things when we're reviewing climbing shoes that is we repeat time and time again is just how important it is. Get a shoe that fits your feet. And this is obviously one of many shoes and many different fits within the Ocún range. Again, what would you have to say about the fit as well in terms of things like volume?
Yeah, volume is that the toe area is like a mid-volume shoe, because we also have on this specific asymmetrics last. Also the last is the higher volume, so this is our mid volume, and the heel is also mid volume. We made some research about the playing with the volume in the heel, and we found that this volume which we have in heel is perfect fitting for most of the climbers, male, women, and but for someone who is very skinny and has very tiny heel, there we use some different heels, but this is not on this type of last.
And you say designed with sport climbing in mind, it looks as well like something you could use very well for bouldering or bouldering indoors as well as out.
Yeah, it's mostly for indoor bouldering, but you could use it once on the rocks where you use you need a lot of friction climbing, for example, Fontainebleau, or any other sandstone climbing area. Apart of this, it's not just, even that we recommend it for the bouldering, it's not just the bouldering climbing shoe. You can use it for any type of sports climbing. As the shoe is very, very soft, I wouldn't recommend it to climb with it in the multi-pitch climbing or like a very long, steep, very long vertical climbing routes where like you use your feet on very, very tiny footholds. There, it could, as the shoe doesn't give you so much support because of her softness, then you would have some difficulties. So it's like for short sports climbing routes and bouldering, it's the perfect item.
I'm right in saying that all of your shoes are made within the Czech Republic as well, aren't they?
Yes, like we have two production facilities in the central part of Czech Republic, and all of our shoes are made here by our employees. We do all the operations from the die cutting, stitching, and afterwards gluing, and also the quality control in the end of the line. So it's like our know-how which we want to keep here, and we increased the production capacities recently as the demands were higher. So yeah, like fully happy to keep the production here.
I know my colleague Theo Moore came to visit the factory a few years ago, and he was absolutely amazed. Like, just really cool to see everything being, you know, again, designed and constructed, and also just seeing like real people making stuff now in Europe as well.
Yeah, I mean, like climbing shoe is something like very special. So there are many brands which are producing in Europe. So it's, from my opinion, it's not so special from this perspective. But yeah, for sure, it's like for someone who never was in any production, it's very interesting to see how it's slowly made in the production line.
Well, it would suffice to say there's no climbing shoes being made in Britain anymore. So, hey, it's good to have our European cousins there making for them, irrespective of any political situations that we might have at the moment. So, Milan, thanks for joining us today. That was fantastic. And hopefully we'll get a pair of the Bullits through to test in the spring.
Great. Thank you very much and have a good time.
Cheers.